Yeah! Oh, it's so different. Hi, my name's Lucas Meacham, and I've been singing opera professionally for 15 years, but my first love, deep in my heart, was singing R&B. You know, as a young boy growing up in rural North Carolina in the sticks, I would listen on my tape deck, if you remember what that is, over and over and over again. Groups like Take Six and Boyz II Men. Oh God, I love Boyz II Men. I would record myself doing every harmony a cappella from albums like Cooley High Harmony and Boyz II Men's 2, note for note. And it really developed my ear and vocal technique as a young singer because the music and especially the harmonies are really challenging. It's been a really long time since I've tried to sing R&B properly. I tend to dabble a bit in the shower and when I'm walking around, but for the most part I have not sung any R&B in a very long time. I do go out to the occasional karaoke night, but I don't sing much R&B then because it's really difficult. I sing mostly Queen or George Michael or some 80s rock, but I'm getting older, so I guess I don't go to karaoke as much as I used to. Okay gang, I'm gonna now attempt to sing one of the most difficult licks in all R&B that I've ever heard, and it's by Take Six from the song Something Within Me. Here it goes. Yeah! Oh, it's so different. All that I know, I thank my God, I've got something within me. Yes, something within me, Lord. Yeah. Oh, I haven't done that in so long. That's why I was really surprised. I thought it would really not be as good as that was. So now I want to get into a little bit of the technique of what I do and the differences between R&B singing and classical music. So I've definitely noticed that my technique has changed over the years. I mean, it obviously has. Back in the day, I had an amazing falsetto, and that has definitely suffered. I can't sing as easily or as beautifully into my falsetto as I used to be able to. It could be just age, because a lot of people's falsetto gets sort of more limited the older they get as their voice matures. And it could also just be from lack of use. I really don't use it that much in classical music. If I start getting paid to sing R&B, then I'll definitely work on my falsetto a lot more than I do when I'm singing opera. So the biggest difference between the two is that in opera, you have to have really solid technique and breath support in order to be able to be heard over an entire choir and orchestra. But in R&B, you have to really mean the words. You have to sound beautiful and incredible at every moment. And you get to use a microphone, which is the biggest difference between singing R&B and opera. The microphone, it actually doesn't only amplify the sound of the voice, it also amplifies the words. And then you get into having a great engineer in order to mix those sounds and everything. Probably the biggest difference is that I use less support when I sing R&B. I use very little support except for the high notes, and it kicks in just a little bit. But when I'm singing opera, it's like I've jumped on a Harley Davidson and I'm just riding on top of my diaphragmatic support. In terms of breath support, I'd say R&B is like a wave in Hawaii that you could surf, and opera, the amount of support you need is like a tsunami. But when I think about opera, I think that I have to be on at all times. I can never let off the gas pedal. Another difference is the fast notes. In R&B versus the coloratura in opera, which are the fast notes in classical music. So when you can just do that sort of thing. And because I'm not supporting so much, I just sort of let the breath flow freely. But when I'm singing opera, it's a little bit more difficult because I have to sort of attack each note with my breath. So if you're an R&B singer and you want to journey into the land of opera singing, you're going to have to really dig down deep. And that's not just a metaphor. That's saying you're going to have to concentrate on low breath support, and that's going to take years to sort of develop that technique. And if you're an opera singer and you want to sing R&B, you have to shift your entire mindset. The amount of support is infinitesimal compared to what you're used to. It's like you have to channel your speaking voice more and have a very forward place sound, but without that breath support behind it. All right, let's try one more song. This is really hard. I used to sing this at karaoke, and then I blew it one time and I was like, well, maybe it's a little too, I'm getting too over the hill for it. But anyway, this is Brian McKnight. This starts Back at One, I think is the name of it, Back at One or something like that. Anyway, you'll recognize it if you hear it. You came and gave this life into this lonely heart of mine, but throughout the lifeline, just in the nick of time, you're like a dream come true. 2, just wanna be with you. 3, girl, it's plain to see that you're the only one for me. And 4, all right. Thank you so much for joining me today. This has been a really fun video to make. So like and subscribe and all that good jazz if you want to hear some more, see some more. And haters, take a deep breath and yeah, yeah, yeah.